your sister, or it doesn't really matter? Okay, I started it.
Oh, the fireplace isn't even there.
So we're officially live. I think, first of all, it's been a long time since we did a live stream. I think it's been 2 months. I'm not sure exactly, but I see everyone, the usuals are already online here, which is quite great to see everyone again after a few months. Rachel wasn't actually going to join, but then she said she wanted to join. So
you didn't ask me.
Yeah, I didn't ask Rachel. That's true. I should
I
ask these things. I kind of just go with the flow a little bit. And yeah, I think it's been, as I said, quite a couple of months. We've been to Namibia. We went to South Africa for 2 months, and before that, and now we're back in South Africa, back in the Netherlands
with some different paintings.
Yes, we have different. We don't have the pink paintings anymore. We have what's in the background even. I don't know. There's a cow
and something else.
There's a cow and something else. I'm not sure what that is.
Yeah.
And so good evening to everyone that's tuned in online to watch. Ollie's online. Hi Ollie, how are you doing? There's Luke Fennell as well. Luke's always online.
Always. We were actually talking
earlier,
about who would be online.
I was saying I was wondering who was going to come online this evening, because I'll let everyone know why we didn't do a live stream the last few months shortly. And yeah, just having a chat just to let everyone know how training's going, how the racing scene is unfolding a little bit. And yeah, a little bit of
as far as we know,
everything.
Yeah.
The good, the bad, the ugly. Everything. Should have brought a glass of water. My throat's already dry.
Would you like to have a glass of water, Richard?
Yeah, a glass of water would be nice,
well,
my love.
I'll get you one.
Glass of water would be great.
Lucky you've got your glass sitting here, so.
Good stuff. Thank you very much. So I was going to go get some water in the meantime. Hi, the Tri-Owl. Goedenavond. Good evening. And yeah, so this evening's live stream, as we said, we haven't done one for 2 months now. And yeah, it's great to be back online. We didn't have internet when we were in Namibia for a month. So yeah, I had to kind of mix things up a little bit, and didn't make too many films the last 2 months. Busy working on one for this week now already as well. And I've got some cool ideas and cool things coming up over the next few months as well on the channel. We're going to change things around a little bit, like we said. I haven't had kind of time to get to that yet, really.
We've been training.
But yeah, the training's been kind of going pretty well the last week or two. For me anyway. Rachel's been trucking along the mileage and stuff. So you guys and girls have seen a lot of footage of her racing and training. Well, not racing, training.
No racing.
There's been zero racing.
So
I don't think there's been a lot of racing really going on at all. Maybe in Australia and New Zealand there's been a little bit more racing going on and things like that. But
I think in Belgium they had at least like national champions cross country. That was at least cool, because we had nothing here.
Yeah, I think it depends on how wild your country is, because it seems like also like America and stuff. I mean, in Australia and that, it seems like the racing and that, obviously there's less corona, so things are just going ahead, races are going ahead. And then there was, just thinking about that race in Daytona last year, because I did a live stream on that, who was going to win.
That was one of the last live streams,
I think was one of the last live streams. There might have been one after that. And that was quite an interesting race. I think I just saw Gustav Eden posting something now, so that's why it just reminded me of him. And yeah, it was pretty cool race. And yeah, now there's supposed to be the next race. It's supposed to be the Super League Triathlon race at the end of this month. The Arena Games in London.
I keep on wanting to say Leeds, because we always race in Leeds when we go to the UK.
We do always race in Leeds.
But London.
Yeah, no, it's London. I think you might race in Leeds later in the year. If that happens, we'll see.
True. It's so weird now, because we have this whole program, but we've got like 5 different backup programs in case something is going to happen or not. Still weird that we don't even know if we're going to race at the end of this month or not.
Yeah, I think that's kind of been like that the year. It's like almost a full year of Corona craziness, a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I came here last year, and kind of the YouTube channel kind of just started during Corona. And so the live stream things also started. I tried to get my camera going this evening, but I haven't done live streams for quite a while now, so I'm getting a bit rusty.
That's okay.
And so yeah, I definitely need to kind of refine things a little bit, but we'll get there. Just running off the MacBook's camera now, which seems to be working fine. I hope everyone can hear us loud and clear, and thanks for tuning in to the channel. The channel has grown quite a lot over the last 6 months. It's a kind of like 27,000, I think, odd now subscribers. So big thank you to everyone who's kind of committed into the channel. Smash that like button, hit the notification, all those jazz terminology. But yeah, everything is pretty cool, and I think there should, well, hopefully there'll be some racing going on this year, so we can actually film stuff and we can actually, see some stuff in action happening. If not, Rachel's going to run a 5 and a 10K.
A 5 and a 10. I was thinking more of like a 3 or a 5, not a 5 or a 10. But yeah, who knows? If there's nothing going to happen, we'll make something happen. I'll need it as well.
I think there needs to be some action going on before the Olympics. There has to be. So whether we make that action happen ourselves or there actually is racing happening, we're going to have to look to see how it goes. But
that we used the hotel spa. Yeah, it was not much of a spa anymore.
Which hotel spa?
I'm just looking at the question about where we swim. The comment. We have been swimming sometimes, especially last year in a hotel pool.
Yeah, we were swimming, so that
it's a bit fresh. But
the last video you just saw that we just posted recently now showed us swimming in a swimming pool in wetsuits. People are probably wondering why on earth we're swimming in a wetsuit in the first place.
If not, it would be too cold.
And the pool was 20 meters pool, but the pools are still shut here in the Netherlands for majority.
Yeah, some pools are open, and actually the pool where we swim has opened the doors yesterday to public. Outside though, it's going to be fun because it freezes during the night. But people are so stoked. People are so happy to be swimming inside. But then back to like where we came from, we were swimming in the Holtweide. So if Corona is done and you want to go and stay at a nice place and you want to keep your training up, it's a nice place to swim as well. Normally they'll have the water temperature a bit higher, which will be good. Now it was cold, but yeah, thanks to them also, especially last year, we could keep up some swimming.
Yeah. So before the Olympics last year, we were training at the 20-meter pool.
About 3-4 times a week?
Three times. Really undercover stuff. Like seriously, I don't think we weren't allowed to say anything. So we were swimming there for 2 months in wetsuits, or maybe 3 months in a wetsuit, almost every day. And we couldn't post anything about it. There's nothing worse than doing something so cool and you can't tell anyone.
Because some people feel like, I also want to swim and I don't want to hurt some people's feelings. I don't know.
I think that's a real Dutch thing. A little bit.
I don't think so. I don't want to see people get jealous or say it's unfair, but on the other hand, it's our job, so it's quite difficult. So sometimes we just...
Yeah, so all the people that got upset about us posting swimming at a swimming pool, it's our job. So it's like, imagine we're complaining about you getting to go to your office every day, and you're like, that's so unfair, you get to go to your office. I want to go to my office.
Okay. Which I understand, but let's not get into this because it's going to be a whole discussion about why everyone should be able to go and swim or
that's going to head down the Corona Chronicles where everyone argues and then nothing comes from it. So let's not maybe...
No, let's skip that. But we swim and we're lucky to swim.
For sure. Just say hi to everyone who's here online so far. So Chris van Lent, hi. Luke Fennel, always online. Luke is probably one of the biggest. I've said every time we do a live stream, Luke is one of the number one. Good job or good job. A Dutch person, subscriber to the channel and a fan is usually also online. We'll see if he'll come online this evening or not. And the Tri Owl is coming in with a lot of questions here. Goedenavond aan de cutest tri couple in the wereld. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
I should have brushed my hair properly.
Rachel, she did her hair especially for everyone online tonight. She spent hours doing that. Hours.
I'm just wearing my pajamas, sort of.
She's wearing pajamas. I've got pajamas now, joking. I don't have pajamas really.
Yes, you do. You don't lie. You have pajamas.
I got some free pajamas once from Emirates when I flew and they lost my luggage and I got some free pajamas. That's about it.
It was quite nice.
Yeah, that is true. Here's another question. Let's have a look. I think you already did one from Morgan Martin.
I just read.
Thanks for the motivation, entertainment. You guys are awesome. Thank you very much. Thanks, Morgan. Great to have you online. Thanks for tuning in this evening to the live stream. Question from Ollie Delaporte. Is there some racing here in South Africa? That's a very, very good question. I have no idea.
There is some racing here in South Africa.
That wasn't a question. That was
it's not a question. It's a statement, Richard.
Well, that's great. South Africa seems to be
Corona-free.
Corona-free, which is good.
Yeah.
I felt the same when I was in South Africa. It felt like I came from Europe where there's Corona. In South Africa, it seems like no one thinks it exists, which is interesting. Very, very interesting. I think it's got to do with how concerned you are, how big your issues are, whether you take it serious or not. I don't know what the calculation is, but
Yeah.
It's a tricky one. It really is. Hopefully there'll be some racing coming on in the next few months here in Europe. It's still freezing cold in Europe, so I don't think there's going to be much triathlons.
Freezing cold. We've got a lot of different, like, today you could have done a triathlon on the hottest of the day. It was like 14 degrees.
In a tri-suit.
Well, you put arm warmers
It's
on.
like 10 degrees in the water, 5 degrees in the water.
So what? It's possible.
Winter triathlon, maybe.
There is people who are swimming outdoors, and I still want to give it a try, but he doesn't want to give it a try. You don't want to go in some open water now,
If
do
it's
you?
4 degrees Celsius in the water, I'll choose a 26-degree pool.
You just go like next week or in a couple of days from now, because then it's like super cold outside and the water is warmer than the outside temperature.
It sounds like sanity. It sounds like some sanity insanity to me a little bit. Hi, Lucas, Marem. Hope you are doing well. Thanks for tuning in. Jake Kupfer. Hi, Richard. Watching from California. Nice. US of A. I wonder what time is it in America now? I think it depends where you are in America.
I don't know.
Thinking away from like 10 a.m. until 4 p.m. something like that. Try the Owl. Cool to see you guys. Oh, the hotel spa. Rachel just mentioned that one. Yeah, we swam. That was the Holtveder hotel, which is about 15 kilometers from here.
We use it now as a backup pool in case there's no swimming pool open or we can't swim at where we normally swim.
Correct. Yeah. So most of the time we're swimming at another pool, which I haven't been able to film at, which is a bit. So I've got no swim footage at all going on this week on the weekly video, but
maybe you can sneak in some videos, but yeah, we'll see.
There's a lot of things like I shouldn't do. It's just like, I don't know, you get to South Africa and it's like, well, kind of do what you want, and then we get just like, well, be careful, don't just. But I understand that there's more rules here than in South Africa, so that's probably why you've got to be careful. Also with speeding, like in South Africa, you can speed if you want. The fines are small. Here, if you speed, police will catch you like 100 meters down the road.
Then your wife pays for your speeding fine.
And your wife has to pay for a speeding fine.
That's a funny story.
Credit cards don't work in the Netherlands, which for anyone who wants to come to the Netherlands as a tourist,
get a debit card.
Get cash. Because international debit cards are also not accepted from outside banks outside of the Netherlands, which...
Long story short, last week Richard had to park my car somewhere, and you had to pay for the parking, but you couldn't pay with credit cards and you couldn't pay with cash. So you had to beg someone else to pay for the parking.
I begged some lady maybe in her 60s or something. She was charging her electric car, and I tried all my cards that I have available on this parking meter, and it never worked. So eventually I thought, I'm going to beg this lady for €2 or €1.40 to be exact.
Yeah.
And
you gave her cash, right?
I gave her, she got 60 cents tip for helping. Yeah, I'm generous. I gave her 60 cents tip to pay for my parking, and so credit cards in the Netherlands is, it's a tricky one, especially for foreigners. I'm busy. We're working on that. I'm working on something like working on a bank account eventually. And we were never here long enough for me to use it, so it's kind of a tricky one. Yeah. Here's one from Floris Gomer. Gekoloniseerd.
Gekoloniseerd is colonized.
Colonized.
I think.
I'm not sure what the colonized, what that refers. What do you think that refers to?
I have no idea.
Is
well, maybe
Dutch?
he will let
Dutch,
us know.
The Dutch are colonized?
No.
I have no.
Maybe it meant something else.
Perhaps, yeah, yes, perhaps. You can hit the question from Graham Shipway. That's quite a cool surname.
Hi, both. Thanks for the inspirational YouTube videos. Watching from MRC Bavaria. I've been training hard. Thanks again for the live stream. Good luck with training. It's always good to see people out there. And that's the only positive thing, I guess, about Corona, that a lot of people have more time to go out and exercise and train. So I'm sure all the age groupers are going to be super fit. Super fit. We need to be careful. Because everyone is training so much now, except for in the pool, but a lot of swimming and biking, running and biking going on.
I think, even through the winter, I'd love to know how many people think I'm becoming duathletes now, just because there's no swimming. They should just make the first few races of the year duathlon, seeing that there's no swimming pools around to swim in.
Well, still more and more people have been swimming outside, and it has been cold.
I suppose it depends on what country.
But I'm talking about now here in the Netherlands and Europe.
That's true.
We even saw videos of people like breaking the ice going for a swim. So epic.
It's pretty wild. Some people are pretty wild out there. I don't know. I remember last year when everyone was tying themselves to swimming pools and swimming in swimming pools.
It's still happening.
It's still happening.
Still happening. You're just lucky now to have a pool.
I don't know. Would you tie yourself to a pool and swim every day in the same place?
Why, if I didn't have another option, and the Olympics or any other races are going on, then yes.
So everyone
Already yawning.
everyone that's tuned in here online, you've got to comment to just say which country you're from. I'll have to just do a little poll to see who's tuned in during the live stream. I think usually, well, it's actually quite a broad spread, usually of countries from all over the place. UK, well, mainly English-speaking countries actually, since the YouTube channel is in English. It'd be cool if we had live streams during the, translation things during the live streams or during the videos.
I could translate into Dutch, but most Dutch people understand English, so there's no point in doing that.
Yeah, that's the
Any
one.
other languages I would struggle. Could do a little bit of German. No French, really. Un petit peu.
My French is also extreme. Oh, wow. I think my French is worse. Then German's a little bit better. Then my Dutch is kind of better.
Your Dutch is definitely better than the other languages.
Yeah, that's very, very true.
Cape Town, Denmark, Brazil, US, France, Germany, Norway.
Kentucky. I wonder if Kentucky, where are you from? Kentucky Mafia. Where are you from in the US? If you're from, well, I guess Kentucky. That would make sense. But yeah, it's great for everyone to tune in online. So obviously we said as the training has picked up. I mean, I got, just to let everyone know why there hasn't been live streams on another side of things, and some videos have been on the wayside. I kind of got sick for the better part of a month, and Rachel went to Namibia. I didn't go to Namibia.
I left him.
She left me for some training in Namibia. I wasn't allowed to travel just because I was ill. The doctors told me not to travel.
No corona, so all good.
Wasn't corona, don't worry. It wasn't the Rona. So, so eventually, the last 2 weeks now, I've been doing some training. There's a lot of footage going to be happening of Rachel cycling in front of me. So if everyone's wondering why there's always footage from Rachel from behind, that's because I'm sitting in Rachel's
you're already getting stronger, or I'm getting more tired, which is also possible, or a combination of both. Because we've been riding next to each other again. So
that's
I
always
kind of like riding in front of you. It feels quite cool. I feel like
but then you
I'm
push,
on control.
But then you want to push when you ride in front of me.
Of course, I got to show off a little bit.
You want to show how strong you are.
Absolutely.
I think that's but yeah, so let's have a look at some of these questions. Thanks everyone for writing in the country that you're from. It's pretty cool. I think so far I have no idea. It's kind of a broad spread of people from different countries.
2 South Africans.
3 South Africans. Triathlete, duathlete from Kenya. Nice. Rachel wants to go to Kenya. I actually want to go to Kenya.
Yeah.
We need to go and run. We need to go and run in Kenya. I think that's on the to-do list. So
for after the Olympics, sometime next year maybe.
So Ryder James Murawa.
We'll try.
If you got somewhere to stay in Kenya for us, we'd love to come and stay with you and train there. But we won't have Corona though. But just saying. I mean, putting it out there, And yeah, so I think as I said, picked up some training the last 2 weeks. The Olympics is now 140 days probably away, apparently, something along those numbers. There's supposed to be that race in London. The Arena Games with Super League Triathlon end of this month. That's going to be very cool. I won't be going to compete just because I've only started kind of picking my training up a little bit. I'm not really ready to go and smash myself out yet, let alone do really hard sessions yet. So I've got some time just to build into some training. And yeah, we're going to see if that goes ahead. Obviously, with the restrictions in London and those things, it's going to be interesting to see what happens there.
Yeah. I'm not ready, but I'm going to race. I mean, I haven't done any specific training. It's just been mileage and just base training. But if London is on and if I can travel there without a lot of restrictions, and if it's safe enough to just be in a bubble or in the hotel and not going anywhere else, then I'll compete if I'm allowed to, if I can.
Yeah. No, I think that'll be pretty good. I wanted to go and do some media stuff there, but I might just hang out here in the Netherlands alone for a little bit, and just do some general training a little bit. And yeah, I think it's going to be interesting year this year. Definitely think so. I wonder if they're going to have that challenge Daytona race at the end of the year again. I don't know why that seems like the most exciting thing that happened last year.
Maybe we're going to get married again. I mean, have our wedding. Who knows?
Yeah,
Who knows who
also
won't?
we plan our wedding for the end of this year as well.
Again, we
To
just-
redo our wedding to kind of just have a party, really.
Because we were almost married for a year already. You know that? Whoa.
We're almost married for a year.
Does it feel like that?
No, the last year doesn't really. I don't know what happened last year. I can't. There were like 1 or 2 races, and then we just like hung inside and weren't allowed to see people here. So,
Yeah.
an error has occurred. Oh no, what happened?
Oh, an error. Looks like we're still
I have
online.
no idea. It looks like we're still online.
We're still
I
good.
think it's still working.
Should be so good. Yeah.
Perhaps it might take a while for it to show up that it's ending
We
the
should
stream,
look at
but
some questions.
yeah,
Because there's
let's-
some big questions.
let's
going
look. So
on
there's a lot
there.
of questions coming in here. So
Yeah.
let's just ask them. If you have any questions you want us to answer, just please go ahead and
Yeah.
just smash that subscribe button. I'm joking. Just go and
Do that and ask the question.
Go and smash this like button first if you're on the live stream,
And then we will answer your question.
so that you can get paid the millions of US dollars in. No, I'm joking. No, but yeah. So let's head through some
You
of
do
the
the first
questions
one.
here. Let's see where all these people are from. Try the owls from Germany. I like your little owl in your name. That's quite unique. There's someone here from the south of France, Montpellier. Kentucky is from the US. Thiago is from Brazil. Jacan 32 is from Denmark. Hi there. Luke, SA Windy, Cape Town. We know Rachel knows all about that Windy series. That Windy series.
You reckon?
Yes, the Cape Town Southeasterly
Could be.
is
Yeah.
like coming back from. If anyone's in the Durban area knows that and rides back from the silos.
I will not forget that. Right? Who was in front there, by the way?
Okay, Rachel was in the front there. We'd done 130k or something.
Which he was in front, and I only did the last 20
And then I
Ks.
was completely finished. After that, I was done. But so let's have a look. Zaim, all the way from Cape Town. Yeah, see why till I die. Morgan Martin has got a question. I'm training for a 5k time trial, doing 112 to 124 kilometer weeks, consistently with easy and long intervals, tempo runs. Any tips on this training and or tapering before the attempt?
That's a lot of running.
Firstly, that's a hell of a lot of running you're doing. Quite impressive.
Yeah.
That's more than we do.
Yeah. We probably. Will we manage to do both like that together? Currently, we're not even running that together.
No, we are together.
Well, 60 Ks? You reckon
Yeah.
we don't run 60 Ks this week?
Last
But that
week we
doesn't
did.
matter. No, last week
Last
we
week we did.
last week we did.
But so yeah, what advice we give you? So yeah, kind of Morgan. I would say, well, it depends where you're going to do your
Stay
time trial.
injury-free.
Stay injury free. Don't overtrain. I think that's quite important.
Yeah.
Leading into the race, depending on how your body responds to your training, I think you should obviously take a week out at least. You should start tapering, taking it a bit easier, depending on how long you've been training for. If you've been training for much longer, you can probably leave a little bit shorter before the run, before you kind of like freshen your body up. But yeah, you definitely want to, give yourself a week to just kind of let your training load kind of, take it easy, kind of like 5 days to a week before the race. Yeah, and then just do it, at a reasonable time. Don't do it super early in the morning. Make sure kind of the temperatures are a good temperature. And yeah, kind of make a course with the least amount of corners if you want to go for your PB. That's the one thing I noticed. If you have the least amount of corners, least amount of traffic, you can probably get your quickest time. So yeah, hope that helps. So another question here, Rikus Butter. Do you want to do Rikus Butter?
Yeah. Where did I see it? I don't see
Okay,
which
let's
one.
go back up. Sorry, this thing. There we go.
It's
There's
like
Rikus Butter at the top.
there. Hi, are you both doing the Super League Trial and Arena Games in London? And do you know if spectators will be allowed? Well, Richard won't be racing. If the race will be on, and if I'm allowed to, and if they want me to race, then I would love to be racing. And I don't know if spectators will be allowed, but I would guess not. I guess it's just going to be online.
I think it will just...
Because with Corona currently, I would be even surprised if London is going to be on, to be honest. But if it's on, I would guess there will be no or next to none spectators.
Yeah, I think I do agree. I think most of it's going to be online. I think, honestly, it's probably more exciting actually watching online anyway. It sounds horrible, but... the Super League, yeah, I think you kind of get, you get a bit more of it. You get the swimming side and you get the biking side and everything, and obviously it's on Zwift, so yeah. But I think I'm pretty certain Super League will do a great job when it comes to the coverage and those things of that race. So I don't think you'll have any problem with that.
Sorry for my yawning. It's just like if people start to know, that's just me.
Rachel yawns a hell of a lot. There's actually, I think Souply's got like a
They've got a compilation of
yawn
it.
compilation of Rachel from
It's
all
just
the
when I
time she did
sit down
interviews.
after all the training, and it's like 7:30. It's only 7:30, but I'm tired of training, and then I'm just relaxed and chilled, and you can't even see. We're in front of the fireplace.
Where's the fireplace?
You gotta move, Richard.
You
can't.
We need some wood on the fire.
It's nice and toasty here, and then I'll just hide behind my glass every now and then, just like you would. Yeah.
Okay, we're getting carried away. We got completely carried away there. I'm not sure what happened.
I just had to apologize.
Kentucky Mafia, the Kentucky State lol. Okay, 100 yeah, that was a stupid question. I'm sorry. Yeah, so here's a question from Benjamin Harvey, watching from my turbo in the UK. Awesome.
Good luck.
There's a few people I've seen in the comments here that are actually riding on their turbo trainer. It's like pretty late. I think it's 6:30.
We had a really early dinner tonight.
Yeah,
so.
we had dinner at 6 o'clock. Pretty early.
Yeah.
So,
sometimes we have dinner at 9, so it's all over the place.
a little bit Spanish sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm yawning too.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness. Oh, sorry.
Just hide.
Sorry,
like
that was contagious. Quite everyone thinks has that been proven? Is yawning really contagious? I'm not sure.
There is something with it. If the other person yawns, there's a much bigger chance that you're also yawning.
Because I've always noticed that if someone yawns like on the opposite side of a room or something, that you'll yawn and you look and you're like, how did it? I didn't even see them yawn, and it happened.
Yeah.
Which.
Well, there is Fred 3 Muller. Just a thought that crossed my mind since I'm on the home trainer right now. And there we go. What's your favorite indoor session and the one for you to fear the most? Well, to fear the most is easily. That's any Zwift race there is. I haven't done many of them, but they're hard. They're harder than anything I've probably done before ever in my life.
I would guess 1 hour time trial as hard as you can go on Zwift.
Yeah.
I would assume that would be the worst thing. Probably one-legged. Maybe if you did one-legged all out on the trainer for an hour.
No.
Just one leg. You probably have such an imbalance that you have to go and see a chiro like within half an hour after doing your attempt.
There we go again. Yeah, I don't know.
What's your favorite indoor session? Which one do you enjoy doing?
I don't have an indoor session because I don't do a lot of indoor training. But actually, tomorrow the weather is going to be not so great, apparently. And the coach wrote me a nice set. And it says, did you yawn? And it says 12 by 2 minutes. And the first 10 seconds hard. And I think that's quite a nice session because it's a little bit longer, and so you break your ride up a little bit. So not the really long rides. Long rides are not for Zwift, I think. Long rides are not to be done indoors. But everything till like an hour and a half or something with some efforts, like for example 12 by 2 minutes, is quite nice.
Yeah, so Frathery Miller, Rachel has just prescribed you 12 by 2 minutes on the turbo trainer now.
That's what I'm doing tomorrow.
15 seconds hard, and then you kind of get into rhythm in the next 1 minute 45. You kind of go hard.
So
take
12
by
2 minutes
2,
easy
15
in between.
hard. There's your training session.
That's 48 minutes.
Rachel charges $100 an hour. So
that's my coach, but that's okay.
Our coach charges $100 an hour.
Compliments to the coach. I think that's quite a nice session to do.
Yeah. I think that's good.
Yeah.
Luke says, go to Eldoret where Kipchoge trains. That sounds like a great idea. Although, I need to lose 15 kilos to look like a runner, which would be tricky.
Me too. But we're first triathletes, so we'll see.
Triathletes our job. That's currently, it looks like people removed a lot of questions. I think obviously...
Maybe we already replied them.
Maybe
they thought maybe.
Maybe we yawned too much and they're like, stop yawning. I don't know. Mike, it looks like it says Championa, but it says champagne. R&R Rock. Thank you very much. Question here from Max. Everything is fine on my end. Awesome. Thanks for the feedback. It's always great to know if there's anything
there is one
weird happening.
There.
Where? Ryder James.
There.
I host athletes in my camp. Welcome to Kenya. I'd love to train with you and learn. Awesome.
Nice. Write it down, Richard.
DM me, please, on Instagram right now. We would love to know where you stay and where we can come to Kenya one day and train there.
Oh, and if another random question for the people who are actually watching, if there's any nice altitude places at altitude which are good for swimming, biking, and running. So there's a good pool preferably 50-meter pool, which is warm, not super hot, but like a nice temperature. Because it's quite hard to. Oh yeah, you're yawning. It's quite hard to find a new altitude place which is not already like super super busy and full of athletes. With a pool. So just a random question.
And it's heated, the pool.
Yeah, and heated pool.
Because I think you can find 50-meter pools, but
preferably
heated pools
like June, July side.
Yeah.
Maybe not for this year, but any time. June, July side. Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Anywhere in the world.
Okay, so it looked like something happened with the live stream, but then it came back. There's a question from Alberto Borges. Very good guys from Mexico. Campeche City. I probably pronounced it completely wrong, but
I don't know.
Awesome, Mexico. That's another place I've always wanted to go and like actually spend some time in Mexico one day. Always wanted to go and check the coffee plantations and all the things out there in Colombia and Mexico and stuff. But try the owl. How can I get a Red Bull road bike helmet? I want one.
Become a Red Bull athlete.
If you train very, very hard and you speak to Red Bull and you're under the age of 23, then you have a good chance of getting a Red Bull helmet if you're an extremely good athlete. But unfortunately, the Red Bull helmets are only for athletes. Also on Zwift, the helmets are also only available for athletes. So that's one prestigious thing. Red Bull athletes are the only ones who wear Red Bull stuff. If you see somebody out there that's like 45 years old or 50 or 60 years old, whatever, wearing a Red Bull helmet, maybe there could be a Formula One driver or there could be something else that's not related to high professional sports. But no, unfortunately, the helmets are just for athletes. So sorry about that. Try the owl. Luke Fennell says, I'm running 45 kilometers.
That's good.
That's pretty good, Luke. How old are you, Luke? Wait, Luke said I think he's 15 or 16.
I forgot. Quite young, but so 45.
Pretty young.
That's good.
45 Ks is good. I mean, I would kind of, what do you think the longest or the most amount of kilometers somebody should run for, say, the age of 13? Like in a week.
In a total. I don't. For me, it's hard to look at total. I would always advise to do as little as possible. That means don't do more than you need when you're young.
I completely agree. Kind of.
You don't want to overdo it when you're young. You don't want to get injured.
When you're young, you should be doing stuff that's fun. And if that means you run 30 Ks a week or whatever, that's fine. But I mean, sometimes when kids are 13 doing like 100K run weeks, and I'm just thinking like it's just there's one thing with cycling with when I grew up. So I grew up as a cyclist.
We were talking about that yesterday.
And we have gear ratios. So in cycling, they restrict your amount of gears and the amount of like kind of your cadence. So they don't want your cadence to get too slow a lot of the time. So they kind of restrict your gearing. And on running, you have, you can't really restrict your running unless you're not running in like Vaporflies or something like that, then, but if you have really heavy shoes on those things, you could restrict your running. But so it's kind of important not to run too much when you're too young. It could wreck your knees and a whole bunch of other things. So, but that's good, Luke. That's good. You're running 45 Ks a week. Chris van Lent, one of my friends on my track team, set the USA high school record for the indoor mile. That's pretty cool. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Congratulate. Give him a big high five from the R&R team. Very proud of everyone that's doing sports, getting involved in sports.
Absolutely.
There's another question from Max. I can't pronounce your surname. Try and pronounce Max's surname.
Oh, no, I don't know.
I can't pronounce Max's surname either. Max, that must be from Eastern Europe somewhere, I think, or Russia. How would you guys train for a 3-kilometer race? I'm currently running around 50 to 55 Ks a week, either 5K or 10K in a day. I'm planning on implementing some short fast runs. What would you do? So for 3K, you kind of want to run faster, quicker stuff. It's a shorter distance, so you can usually run harder than you would do in, say, a 10K or a 5K race, something like that. I think usually you kind of, I would say somewhere like 3 by 1K or kind of 5 by 1K set, kind of building to your pace of the 3 kilometer that you want to do would probably be a good thing. So maybe take like 2 minutes break or 3 minutes break between the 1Ks, kind of a couple weeks out, and then maybe like 2 or 3 weeks out from it, you can do kind of a 3K steady or 3K harder run just to see what it's like. Not all out, but just kind of get that feel of what it's going to be like. Maybe put your races on. and kind of emulate what you're going to do. And then, yeah, you can go ahead. I think, you want to be doing some speed work. 3K is very specific kind of distance. The longer you get, it's actually, for most people, it's easier to do the longer stuff to a degree at a certain pace than the shorter stuff, depending on, how old you are. I don't know how old you are, Max, but yeah, I think some definitely, at least once a week to do some speed work.
Yeah, 5 or 600.
Yeah, 600s, 400s on the track would also be good.
3 by 1K.
I think, if you're naturally fast, you probably won't need to do as much short stuff. But if you're naturally not fast, you need to train more of that fast twitch muscles just to kind of, get your turnover going. And yeah.
So for example, you wouldn't do that much short, fast stuff because you're naturally good at it. And I will do a little bit of short, fast stuff because I'm not so good at it naturally.
Yeah.
So you kind of do what you're not good at doing.
Yeah, whatever you're bad at, just do more of that and you'll become better.
Yeah.
Seems pretty simple. Hope that answers the question a little bit. Morgan, it's a pleasure. Yeah, hope you enjoy your easy run. Go out there and have good fun. Question, Mark. Ooh,
oh, you go too fast again, Richard.
He
just asked if you feel better running in the morning. The answer is often no. At the start, you feel horrible, but like after a while, it's quite nice because you're still fresher because you haven't done like a bike and a swim already. So and it's nice that we often like when we wake up, you have a cup of coffee, have a little snack, and then we run. And then when you come back, you can have a nice big breakfast.
You reward yourself with a nice breakfast.
So for your stomach, like you don't have those problems. You can just run off everything. But for my stomach, it's nice to run in the morning because then I'm just like, can have breakfast afterwards.
I think it depends on your stomach a little bit. I mean, Rachel kind of, for her stomach, it's better to run in the mornings. For me, I prefer running in the evenings. But
sometimes time-wise. Well, tomorrow we'll run in the evening because we swim really early. But otherwise, we often run in the morning.
I think if you want to focus on technique, kind of do your weakest discipline first in the day, perhaps, just because you have better form when you're the first session of the day versus the end of the day, your form kind of changes, you get more tired.
But the only thing is, for example, really noticeable with swimming, if you swim in the morning, your body is not awake yet. So if you do a hard session, like I prefer to do a harder session later in the day.
Evening,
easy sessions I just don't mind doing in the morning just to wake up, but hard sessions are often better to do them a little bit later. Maybe not last session, depending on what else you're doing. But if you come back from work, then I would run in the evening then as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, MDC Training, for all the bicep curls. Loving them. Nathan Loft, what's your favorite food to eat after a heavy session? Everything that's in the fridge. Chocolate.
No, yes, as well.
Well, some chocolates. But I'm a big fan of eggs. Omelette. I love making an omelette after kind of a hard session. Kind of like protein shake sometime as well. Within half an hour after the session kind of helps me as well. So some carbs as well. Sometimes I'll throw a little bit of vegetables in there. Rachel, what do you usually eat after your hard session?
Anything, whatever we have in the house, really. But normally like oats and yogurt and muesli. I like those things. I'm not a big bread fan, which we should. Or lately we've been making toasties.
Toasted sandwiches.
Yeah.
I'm not sure everyone knows what toasties is.
Yeah, okay. Well, toasted sandwiches.
Toasted sandwich.
We eat quite normal. We don't do like all the fancy stuff.
Yeah, we're not that. Everyone thinks that if you're a top athlete, you have to be eating the most exotic, expensive stuff you can find.
But it's just eating balance, like getting everything in your body, whatever you need, like enough vegetables, fruits, carbs, fats.
I think one thing I'd say, I wouldn't eat a lot of meat during the middle of the day.
No, true.
So if you're an athlete and you're eating meat in the middle of the day, your stomach's going to take a lot of strain. But
maybe if you want to, like
maybe a lighter fish or chicken is usually a good one to go.
But even though we don't really eat that much meat anymore.
So here's a question from Rikus Butter. So obviously your metabolism is really fast. Now that you had an early dinner, you'll probably be hungry again soon. 100%. I'll be making a second dinner. That's my style. Yogurt and muesli is usually my go-to in the evening. So I kind of sometimes start the day with yogurt and muesli and end the day with yogurt and muesli.
Yogurt and muesli is good for everything. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack.
You can eat yogurt and muesli whenever you want.
Yeah.
And so I think the go-to snack, yogurt and muesli. Sometimes I'll have an energy bar. But I think usually, and then Rachel's go-to snack would be chocolate.
And you're good at music.
And you're good at music.
Yeah.
It's a question from Brent Detter. Have you put more miles into the Adios Pro? Further feelings on them? I have not put further miles into them. I do quite a bit of trail running here in the Netherlands, so I haven't had too much time to spend anymore. I haven't done much, haven't done any speed work yet, but I definitely find I will spend some more time in them, and I will give you some more insight into how they feel. But they definitely were feeling really, really good on the first few runs that I'd done in them so far. Just noticed quite a bit of rolling in on the inside of my foot, kind of a bit of plantar tightness as well. So yeah, just be kind of wary of that if you're going to run in them more often.
No idea.
Question from Ben Sprutz. What is the best speed session to train for 70.3 run? Well, there isn't really a best speed session. I think if you're going to want to run 21 Ks hard, I remember I did one key session that I wanted to do before the half distance that I did, and I think I did 10 by 1K on the track, and I had a really short rest between them, and I kind of tried to run them at the best average pace that I could do for that 10 by 1K.
And I did something completely different.
And Rachel did like a bold run of
I did 20, 20, 20 or something like that. So
Rachel did 20 minutes at one speed, and then right after that 20 minutes faster and then 20 minutes even faster. It was like an hour build. So we did two completely different training sessions. And Rachel did better than me, so maybe the 20-20-20 is the better one.
It's funny because it's a little bit of contradiction with what we earlier said, that you should have done my session and I should have done yours. So at the end, do whatever you feel the most comfortable with as well. And sometimes you just have a lack of endurance, or sometimes a little bit of lack of speed, and it really depends on yourself and the person.
Yeah, that's true. This is a question from Andrew McWilliam. When did you start swimming? Well, I did some swimming when I was about 13 or 14, and I hated it completely. So then I continued hating until I was about 18, and then I decided about when I was 19, 20 years old, I want to be a triathlete, and then I had to swim a lot more, and I've hated every day since now.
It's not that bad.
It's not that bad. I feel good swimming when I get really fit and I'm fast. Then I feel good swimming. But it's kind of the same with running and cycling. The fitter you get, the better you feel. I think it's kind of related a little bit.
For me, it was like the other way around, because I started swimming and I absolutely hated it. But then I continued swimming, and I was probably 6 when I really hated it that much. But I continued swimming since. With some years of less swimming and a little bit more, it's still not my strongest discipline, but I'm currently in the and I'm enjoying it phase. It goes with ups and downs.
Yeah, I think I've still got to. I was going to make a video on how not to suck at swimming, although I still suck at swimming. But I think the advice, maybe the tips and things that I learned over the years to kind of focus on for me to get better at swimming or to improve swimming.
Do you remember what you learned last year?
Yeah.
With your butterfly. You learned how to swim butterfly. Woo!
Unfortunately, when you're not told how to swim butterfly and you just watch other people swim butterfly, you could get it wrong.
You just try to copy. I think you did it well. For the fact that you learned how to swim just by copying others, that's impressive. You never got taught how to swim. No. Well, as a Dutch person, you get taught how to swim.
No, even
you don't just look and copy.
Yeah, in the Netherlands, a lot of things are more advanced than Africa.
No, I'm just saying it's good you did it. Yeah.
Some fun. Luke says we must go to the North Pole for some heated pools. Okay. That's a great bit of information,
I don't know how
Thank you very much for that.
Biking and running will be there, but maybe another year.
Question from Run for Your Life. What is your opinion on icing joints after running? Well, I've heard good news and I've heard bad news, and I honestly don't know.
And we don't do it.
Apparently, icing slows down your inflammation. So you actually want your inflammation to actually, you want to try and get to your muscles. And what happens is I've heard that if you freeze it, you're actually slowing down the rate of your recovery. That's what I've heard. Although it does feel nice afterwards, they say it flushes your blood through. But I've done both. I've heard people getting stress fractures as well, going from hard sessions straight into an ice bath. Yeah, mixed reviews. I'm not sure on that. Luke's 12 years old and he's running 45 Ks a week. That's quite a bit.
That's impressive.
That's quite a bit, Luke. Okay, a couple more questions and we're going to head off. How did you manage a 28:04 10K? I saw your videos 4 seconds faster than the Dutch road record. Such talent. Thanks. Well, I had trained for it to a degree. It was the end of the season last year. A lot of things were in the favor. The course was very flat. There were no cars. There was only one tractor at the start that almost, well, we had to move out the way for the tractor a little bit. And yeah, kind of just good, solid training, really. And I had a good team around me. I had Rachel and her dad. Her dad was
Especially my dad.
cycling in front of me at exactly 2:48 per K. And yeah, the last 3Ks was super hard. It was really, really tough. But yeah, it was some good fun. It kept things exciting. I think I was more excited for that 10K than I was doing the triathlon races in the year.
I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing, but sure.
Whatever.
Doesn't matter. It was something.
It was good fun. It was good fun. And yeah, so many people. It's got like 500,000 views, which is quite cool. It's probably like my channel is a running channel, but you know we do triathlon and we do some running things for fun. Is a question from Mark. Felt tired today, but watched your vid and gave me inspiration to get out there. Bang.
We feel tired sometimes as well. Like normally we get each other through. Like yesterday, I wasn't so keen, and you just get ready, and I'm like, okay, well, I gotta follow. And sometimes it's the other way around. So it's good that we can all inspire each other and help each other to keep going and get it started. Yeah.
Here's an interesting question from Zem, I think in South Africa. How do you balance your relationship training versus just being a couple?
Yeah, good question. I think especially when we're training, we're just mostly each other's training partners. We can kind of like separate it a little bit. And then when you come home and you're done with all the training, then it's like, oh yeah, hi Richard, how are you doing?
What did you do today?
What did you do today? Same as you. But yeah, sometimes it's a bit difficult, so you gotta take your time to like change it a little bit. Yeah.
No, I think it's always. I mean, we train together every single day.
Yeah. And
but
probably like all sessions as well.
But we have like moments of cuteness in there, which happen now and then, that's, you know.
It's very seldom. No, just joking.
Well, I don't know.
No. It's also very nice. As I said actually before, it's also very nice to help each other. Like, and if one isn't so keen to train, then you can just help each other to get the day started, and yeah, it helps a lot.
So we've got a couple more questions here, and then we're going to head off. I think we're at 47 minutes, super long, and we've got
another meeting in 40
another
minutes.
Meeting in a few minutes. So let's have a look here. Mike, hello from Ottawa, Canada. Hi, Mike. Hope you're doing well. Matteo, do you have some good friends for pro triathletes from other countries? And do you share your training at all? Yeah, we've got friends, obviously other triathletes in different countries for certain. Do you share our training or not? No, we don't really share our training. I think that's quite like a private thing a little bit.
Yeah, also because our coach like puts a lot of work into it, so I always feel like I already mentioned what session I'm gonna do tomorrow. So, but normally we try to keep it a little bit
quiet.
Yeah.
It's kind of our thing, you know. Here's a question from Kevin Rico. Did any of you ever run 42K? And if, how fast did you run it?
I haven't, but you did for fun though.
Yeah, I think I was just over 2 hours. I think it was
halfway
at 20K. No, I did it once. We did the Wings for Life World Run, which is by Red Bull, and it's actually coming up on the 5th of May this year, and you can run until the catcher car catches you. So I ran 4:30 per K for 43Ks or something like that.
Yeah.
And that was pretty hard.
We started together, you, my dad, and myself, but I stopped after 10K because I was flying to Japan the next day or something. And then you and my dad kept going. And I remember watching like on TV, and I thought, what an idiot. Both you and my dad, not trained for a full marathon and just running. It was fun though.
My legs were
Would you want to run a marathon like on time?
No.
No, okay.
No. That's a bit wild. It was more fun. I enjoyed the fun part of it.
Yeah.
As a Christian, a question from Chris van Lent. Recently started doing training harder, running around 50+ mile weeks. 80K in non-freedom countries.
We got so much freedom.
So much freedom.
Too much freedom.
Any suggestions to make the transition smoother? Transition. I'm not sure what you mean by transition, really. But I think you mean transition to running faster, or sorry, I'm actually really not. That's an interesting question. If you just, Chris, just put us down what you mean by the transition. Question from Paul here, Williams. I'm late. No note from the parents. Ooh, be careful, be careful. Your parents are going to go online and see you watching if you comment.
Just don't mention him. And then they will don't know.
That's too late.
Oh.
Okay, cool. No problem, Max. Always good to answer your questions. Okay, cool. We're going to answer one last question here, Rach.
Yeah, there. Des. I think that was just a picked one out.
I'm concerned 80-20 training will slow me down. Do I need to incorporate out and out sprint sessions in my training? No, well, the 80-20 rule I think is pretty good. To have some sprints every now and then is good to keep your neuromuscular going.
But that's just short. It's just like something you won't get tired of doing.
Like literally 50 meters or max 100 meters. I think that's going to be enough. You don't need to overdo it too much. But the 80-20 rule is pretty good for most people out there. And I think that should be good. We're going to call that for this evening, everybody.
Otherwise, I'm falling asleep.
Yeah, I'm also falling asleep. But
already.
Great for tuning in. It has been a long time since we did a live stream. Hope everyone enjoyed. If you can, go ahead and smash the like button and watch some of my other videos if you can. That would be great. Good transition from here to the next one.
As well.
Our videos.
There's a fight.
Our videos. But yeah, hope everyone's doing well and staying corona free and enjoy. Have good fun. Cheers, everyone.
Bye-bye and good night. And sleep well and train well.